Hey, Dani K, coming to you from Dani K Gym and Wellness. And today, I know it's been a minute since I actually brought a Dani K tip of the day, but thought that it was definitely time. I've got a lot of people, messaging me, texting me, calling me, members, clients, that are, just emotionally eating, right? And how do I stop emotionally eating? What do I do? How do I fix this? Um, and it sounds like stupid, but plain and simple, just don't do it, right? That's easier said than done, right? I have the adverse. So, when people get, like depressed or they don't, they're emotional, a lot of times people eat. My anorexia from back in the day, my anorexia comes back into play, and therefore I don't eat. So that's a bad thing in itself as well. So I've been, I'm human, and I've been finding myself through this whole ordeal, shutdown kind of thing, kind of catching myself, kind of reverting back to my anorexia and kind of catching myself. But the main thing that I do at that point in time, I've got to stay present. I've got to know that, one thing that I have to do is I have to keep my immune system up. I have to keep my strength up, right? So I think, okay, well, I'm not going to eat something heavy. I just can't, right? So what I do is grab a protein shake and then I drink that. So I'm at least getting some nutrients, some protein, some calories, and keeping my strength and my immune system up. So, so I have a struggle too, you know what I mean? Like every now and then, we all have our own little struggles that we deal with and everything. But back to the emotional side, the emotional eating. So a lot of times, especially if you're home, you don't know what to do, especially like if it's raining and, all this stuff, like all these different factors. Hey, Sheila, all these different factors play into, and people do. First thing they do is go to the cupboards, the cabinets, the refrigerator, and eat. So, and it's just as simple as just don't, right? But that's easier said than done. So what I've told a couple of my, what of my clients and members and stuff like that have been coming to me these past couple of weeks on this is, you have to stay present, and so that's one thing, like I said, with me, I find myself, reverting back to my anorexia when I'm stressed and I'm, I have no control over certain things, but I have control over that. That's kind of, where I end up being, right? So I have to stay present. I have to focus. I'm like, okay, this is not helping me any, right? So, don't give the outside sources any more power, any more control. I have to control it. So I grab a protein shake, if I'm not in that mental state to actually sit down and actually eat a meal, right? Grab a protein shake and at least I'm eating. So on the reverse end, so, staying present is key with anything, anything that we're dealing with, going through, is being present. So what you have to do is be present. And I've told a couple of people, take some things, like make a list of foods that is your go-to when you emotional eat. Is it popcorn? Is it donuts? Is it sweets? Is it, pizza? Is it pasta? Like whatever it is, right? Make a list of those foods. And then what I want you to do is, like Google, there's different avenues, different places on the internet that actually tell you, what exercise and how much of that exercise that you have to do to burn said thing off, like say a donut. So when you grab a donut, if that's your go-to, maybe it's, well, I don't know. So don't quote me on this, but maybe it's like an hour of walking, hour fast-paced walking, or 30 minutes of jogging, right? So take your go-to foods that you emotionally eat with, right? And then, do a little search on like what exercise and how much of that exercise does it take to actually burn that off, right? Then put it on your cabinets, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your wherever, your TV, right? Wherever you're going to like look at, refrigerator, probably the first place, right? And then that way, when you're present, or even if you're not present, that post will actually make you be present, right? So you're going to go for the refrigerator. You see that, oh, it's going to take me an hour to walk off like whatever food, or 30 minutes to jog. Oh, hell no, that's not worth it. And I walk away, right? Another thing is just get up and move. So if you have that, if you're present, being present is key in anything, I'm telling you, right? So the more you can practice being present in those things, the better off you're going to be. So if you're present and you're like, oh my God, I'm just going to grab something and chow down, like this is what I want to do, right? So maybe go for a walk. Maybe if it's, obviously if it's raining outside, maybe just walk back and forth in your hallway, go up and down your stairs, do something to preoccupy yourself, so that it kind of takes your mind off of eating, right? Another thing is sometimes we just want, especially if we're bored eating, emotionally bored eating or whatever, a lot of times it's that hand to mouth thing. So maybe grab a cup of tea, grab a glass of water, a bottle of water, and drink that down and see if you're still wanting that food, right? So there's different tricks, different things. You're going to have to figure out like what actually works best for you, right? Because like I said, I can tell you, just don't do it, right? That's easier said than done. But there are different things, hey, John Koga, maybe you can weigh in on emotional eating and give some tips on how to, because I said about like marking down, like, if it's a donut, like mark down like list of foods that you want, that is your go-to foods, and then list the exercise, kind of do a little search, a little research, and figure out what the exercise and how much of that exercise it takes to burn that off. Sometimes that does scare people off and be like, holy crap, I'm going to have to, run for 30 minutes to burn that. No, it's not worth it. So then they go and do something else. But it's about being present, keep yourself occupied. Don't, and sometimes you might grab that food and start taking a couple of bites of it and you're like, what the hell am I doing? Right. It's at that point, then you are present, right? You might not be present at the first point where you grab the food and take a bite. But if you practice, the more you practice being present within your emotions, your feelings, your words, your thoughts, the faster you can catch yourself. And obviously not eating it is the best. But if you grab a bite or two and then be present and be like, holy crap, what am I doing? I got to put that down. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for, let's go call a friend. Let's grab a cup of tea, something, a glass of water, so that you're present. And yeah, you had a couple of bites of those calories, but you didn't have the whole kit and caboodle of all of those calories, right? So hopefully that has helped in some way, shape, or form. Preach it, John says. I'm trying, John. Any way I possibly can help people, through virtually, we're going to do it. Sheila says, I have always, she said, always been an emotional and boredom eater. Now that I'm losing weight and getting healthier, nothing tastes as great as being healthy feels. I love that. Nothing tastes as great as being healthy feels. Amen to that, sister. Not worth 2 seconds on the taste buds for the amount of damage you're causing on the inside. Find another outlet, exercise, read a book, do a craft, etc. Amen, amen, amen. Preach it, Sheila. And that's what I'm saying. So, be present, and then you're understanding, that what the hell am I doing? I even one of my clients that I was talking to this morning, she asked me, and I was like, look, if you could see my dining room table, like I still have like an Easter bunny, I have, the Reese cups, like I have all this candy sitting on my dining room table, jelly beans, all this stuff, right, from Easter. And I just walk by it, like, because for me, I know on cheat day, I can have it all, right? But it's not worth it. Even if you go over and I grab it and I'm like, not worth it. I'll eat 3 of these on cheat day. I'm not going to screw up today, because I did so well today. I'm not going to do that today, right? So I just put it down and walk away. But it's all about being present. If you can be present within the feelings, the thoughts, the everything that you're going through and dealing with in every single day, being present actually, helps you realize and figure out, hey, it's not worth the damage. It's not worth this. I've been busting my butt doing this. Why am I going to sabotage myself? Right. Sometimes you just got to let yourself do it, and I do on cheat day. I let myself do it. But it's when you overdo those things. And that's what, basically, I guess we're talking about is the emotional eating, when you're just like, you're not even aware of what you're doing. Right. So when you're present, like I said, you might take a couple of bites, and then, if you don't do anything, right, if you're present, if you're really, really present at the time, you stop yourself, you go for a walk, you go read a book, you go call a friend, it's like, or, like just walk up and down the hallway, or, do something that will preoccupy you from thinking about food, right? Outside of that, sometimes you might actually go into, grab a couple of bites, be present at that point, then be like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I can't eat this whole thing. I got to put it down, got to walk away. Right. So, a couple of bites is better than the whole thing, but actually not doing it is better than obviously all of it. Right. So, the easier said than done thing is just don't do it. But the best advice I guess I could give is just be present. Just try and be present on every single thing that you do, every single movement that you make, every single thought that you do, and think, right? And if you're present on all of those things, you're actually present when you're grabbing the refrigerator. You're actually present when you're grabbing said food, right? And if that doesn't help you be present, what will help you, like I said, make a list of all the foods that you emotionally eat with, right? And then do a little search, a little research, and figure out what exercise and how many minutes of that exercise that it will take to burn that off. And then, is it worth it? I mean, if it's, worth, I don't even know. I'm just throwing it out there. If it's worth a 30-minute jog to eat a donut, then eat the donut and do a 30-minute jog. But for me, I hate cardio. I do not like working out. I do work out, because I like the effects, and I like, how it, keeps me, looking young, feeling young, strong immune system, all that good stuff. But I definitely hate cardio. I hate cardio. So if I'm going to look at something and be like, oh, you got to jog 30 minutes in order to eat that donut, I'd be like, oh, hell no. I'm not running, not eating the donut. I'll go grab a chicken breast, But at any rate, so I hope this helps you guys. Please just stay present and, walk away from the fridge, man. Make those lists, figure out how much exercise it takes to burn that off. And maybe that will actually help you stay away from emotionally eating, right? So if this helps you, if this has helped, if you think it helps anyone else, share this video. Please share this video. If you have any other comments, questions, concerns, drop a comment below. I can help you, through this time or whatever virtually. And, or private message me if you don't want people to see it, if you don't want a public question or whatever. So private message me. And until next time, guys, be present and walk away from the fridge and stay in tune, stay informed, stay motivated. Thank you, guys.